Alright, so in this video I'd like to do something that nobody ever thought was a good idea. Basically, I'm going to play Minecraft Bedrock Edition in VirtualBox, just to demonstrate that it's possible to do, and that, surprisingly actually, the performance is not absolute rubbish. It's actually not terrible. It's actually playable, and it's not like playable as in, oh, we'll settle for it. No, it's actually like surprisingly decent. Like actually surprisingly decent. So, as you can see, already we've got a reasonably high frame rate, which is not something that any sane, rational, or normal person would ever expect from VirtualBox, but for whatever weird reason that I cannot understand, VirtualBox actually does play Minecraft reasonably well. And while it's not perfect, and there is the occasional bit of, just frame drops and whatnot, it's actually not horrible. It's actually really not horrible. Um, so what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to create a new world. I've already got a world I've been playing on, but I do want to create a new world. Let's see if we can do YouTube survival. Kind of what I want to do with this series actually is just for the heck of it. What you know what to do for the heck of it is just to beat Minecraft in VirtualBox and actually, like, again, just for the heck of it, because no sane person ever thinks, oh, I'm going to play Minecraft in VirtualBox. But there's been all sorts of issues with trying to play Minecraft Bedrock on Linux lately, because Microsoft, in their infinite wisdom, has decided to use the Google Play, what do you call it? Has decided to use the Google Play DRM in their Android version, which the Linux project was using. And now the Linux project has to break the DRM, which, depending on where you live, is actually a federal crime. So, if it's all possible, it might just not be worth doing. And I figured, I wonder if it'll run in VirtualBox one day. And the next thing you know, it's like, oh, not only does it run, it actually runs fairly well. I was not expecting that to be the case at all. However, that's how it ended up. You'll have to forgive me in advance, because if my accent changes, it's largely because I don't really speak very clearly when I use an American accent, and I found that if I need to speak clearly and have people actually be able to understand what it is that I'm saying, especially when I'm speaking into a microphone, I do have to change the way I speak a little bit, and sometimes sometimes I'll sound British, and other times I'll sound Scottish, and other times I might sound a wee bit Irish too. No, that was more Scottish than Irish. I can't do an Irish accent very well, but other times I might do that. It's just it makes the things I say sound a lot clearer than they would be otherwise. Uh, because I am not a particularly fluent speaker. Um, and I can do some fluent level of speaking, but yeah, anyways, you might just have to put up with that, and I'm terribly sorry if that bothers you. If it does, please feel free to stop watching the video and peruse someone else's content who's actually worth your time. Anyways, so, of course, very first thing we do, we're going to gather wood, and we're going to, uh, mine some stuff. We're going to get some iron and some cobblestone, and what else are we going to get? We are going to get, good grief, this is going to be one of those days where my brain just doesn't want to compute things, eh? That's always a pain when that happens, but anyways, okay, let's do that. Let's do that. And, okay. Craftable, not craftable. Now, why does it order it like this? That's not very nice. Put the stuff that's craftable at the top first, because that's what a sane user interface would do. But anyways, it's Minecraft Bedrock. What did I expect? But yeah, so this is actually Minecraft Bedrock in VirtualBox on Linux. Again, because Microsoft had to decide, oh yeah, we're going to use the Google Play DRM in our public releases of Minecraft, and so, that's not the greatest thing in all of existence. Let's see what we can do about that, eh? Surprisingly, as long as you have a decent computer, it's actually not terrible. Now, that might also depend on what sort of graphics card you've got as well. You know, you might have to deal with the NVIDIA drivers, and of course, those are not always the most amazing things to have to deal with in all of existence, especially on Linux. However, it sounds like the Windows drivers have been a bit rubbish lately too. So that's also something to consider, but if you've got an AMD system and possibly an Intel system, I'm guessing, maybe open source drivers, yeah, this actually does work surprisingly well. Again, it's not perfect, and if you're going to do it under Wayland, it's also got some issues because VirtualBox apparently has trouble capturing the mouse pointer under Wayland. So you might have to plug a controller in like I'm doing right now. And what else is there? There's other things too that are probably worth mentioning that I'm probably forgetting. And again, Sin 4 Brain, because that's a thing apparently. Anyways, we're going to go get some coal, we're going to get some iron, we're going to try to build something of a micro-civilization, and then perhaps ever so slowly take over the Minecraft world. We might have to enslave a few villages in the process, and possibly take on a few other things too, like a trial chamber. We'll find out. Apparently the Ender Dragon fight is not too terribly difficult, though. On Bedrock, I've only done it once, so I really would not be the good benchmark for that. I've probably, in my lifetime, as far as I can remember, I've only actually beat the Ender Dragon twice in survival, and that was in peaceful mode with, no, not peaceful mode, sorry, with keep inventory enabled. And admittedly, I'm not like your average survival Minecraft player, so why on earth does there have to be a bug like this? No, just let me craft torches from the other menu, like, whatever. Okay, it's Bedrock, what do I expect? What do I expect? Okay, let's do that now that it's actually available from the other menu. And, here, let's actually just move this one over here. Let's actually make some stone tools now, because we are now at the point of stone tools and stone stuff. Craft, okay, there we go. Fantastic. Now one thing I'll probably want to do here as well is to block off the surface just a wee bit. Oh right, I've got to do that, don't I? I've got to get some food. Something I don't have right now, and I just heard a cow, so I'm going to go murder a cow. And, they've changed the noises! I keep forgetting that they've changed the noises. That's not fair. Oh, whatever. I suppose I'll get used to it in due time. I'm just so used to the old cow and pig noises and the chicken noises. I'm not used to the new ones. They sound so different, it's almost a bit jarring. Okay, there we go. Let's do that, and then... Oh, it's an armadillo! Hello, armadillo. I'm not going to kill you because I don't really know. There's probably no reason to do so in the first place. Okay, so there's a llama. I don't know if there's any real advantage to killing a llama, so I don't think I'm going to kill the llama. Besides, It can be my buddy just chilling out over here. Because why not? So here, let's do this. Hop down into the cave because why not? And okay, so I'm going to have to get some coal. Actually, I do have coal, don't I? Yeah, I forgot I just got coal. So I go up here and craft a furnace and do this and do that. Then I will have some food I can eat once I inevitably start having less satiation, whatever you call that. Once I'm eventually starting to get hungry, then I shall actually have some food to eat, and if I start to take damage, then I will also have food to eat. Oh no, and this is Bedrock. That means I've got to deal with the Bedrock healing system too, which is absolutely horrendous. That's not going to be very fun. Oh, I hate the Bedrock healing system. Oh well, I suppose there are worse things in the universe. Is that a pig? That was a pig. That was a pig. Okay. Excellent food source. Actually, because I have a plan for one thing I want to build, I'm going to grab a shovel as well. There's probably no point in building the thing I want to build, and it's probably nothing more than a meme, but it's still fun to do. Anyone who knows me on public servers nowadays will know exactly what I'm doing and will probably facepalm as soon as they see me craft the shovel. Let's see. Okay. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, so let's go start mining down. Hopefully we run into iron sooner rather than later, because I don't really want to spend a whole bunch of time looking for iron if I can possibly... I guess I'll have to do that anyways, but... Oh, is that more coal? That's more coal. Okay, good. Yay, it is more coal. Okay, that's good. The lighting in the room sort of made it a bit difficult to see. You could probably see it just fine on the video, but we'll chalk it up to my monitor being what my monitor is. And the lighting in the room. Got these nice big windows right next to me. And they actually do work. I mean, not do work. Again, Zen 4 brain can't speak properly no matter what I want to do, apparently. No, I've got these nice big windows, and they're really nice in some ways because they make the room all nice and illuminated. And then, of course, we end up with another problem altogether, which is the sunlight gives me a headache, and that's probably the reason I'm so reeling. One of the reasons I'm reeling right now. I wouldn't be surprised if I've got a silent migraine. It's been known to happen. And then, of course, it also makes it difficult to see because look at the computer screen, and it probably works fine when you've got a certain level of ambient lighting in the room, and of course that's not how it's going to go today, apparently. I've got the light in my eyes, and it hurts. So, pop down to the... You know, I don't even know where I'm going to right now. Hopefully I just find a... Oh no, I probably can't go in a cave just yet. I'm not really geared up enough for that. Let's just hope I find iron. Oh, I did find iron. Let's hope I find more iron. I can actually put some armor on. I'm definitely not a Minecraft speedrunner by any stretch of the imagination, so this is probably going to be a multi-part video series. Minecraft in VirtualBox, Minecraft Bedrock in VirtualBox, because why not? I mean, I'm not particularly interested in any sort of fame or anything, so I don't really care if anybody watches my videos. If they want to, they certainly can, and if they're entertained, then all the better. But, I don't know, this is just... I think what I want to do with this YouTube channel is basically just upload stupid crap. Me testing out random projects that I've found on the internet, and I don't know, something along those lines. Okay. I think I can replace my pickaxe now with an iron pickaxe, so let's do that real quick. I should have a shield, at the very least. If I'm going to go into a cave, I should have a shield on me. I know shields are kind of crap in Bedrock, but they do work. If you need one, they're there. Can be rather handy. It's not perfect, but it's better than nothing. It'll help a lot once I've actually got some proper armor on, which I currently do not have. What's the bundle recipe again? Oh, it's a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Okay. Might just have to kill a spider then. Okay, so if I'm going to kill a spider, what am I doing with this? That's what I... No, don't do that. Go back there. Okay, there we go. There we go. And then... put the torch there, and then what we want to do... drink some water real quick. Maybe that's why I'm so tired. I might be dehydrated. Remember, drink plenty of water. It'll probably help you out a lot in the long run. There we go. I have to keep sipping on that for a bit. Oh, nice, it's nighttime. That means I might actually be able to run into a spider right away. Provided that I don't get killed by 50 billion other things that want to kill me. That's not exactly the ideal scenario. All I want is a spider. I want to get some string. Let's not get blown up by creepers either. No, 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 no. Oh. Grr. Oh well. I didn't want to have to deal with a creeper hole. But there is now a creeper hole. That's not fun, but it is what it is. Ooh, yay, spider! That's exactly what I've been looking for. Okay, fantastic. You are going to die, spider. You didn't drop any string. That's not very nice. I suppose I am the one who killed you. You have the right to decide what you do drop and don't drop for those who try to murder you. I suppose same goes for the zombies when they don't drop any string, or not string, carrots or potatoes. Oh no, we've got one of these things. Oh no, we've got... Oh no. Seriously, what idiot designs the shield mechanics for this game? I think I'm starting to see why shields are considered so useless in Bedrock compared to other versions of the game. There we go. Okay. Let's go and make sure that... Oh, and of course the creeper blew up, didn't it? Yes, it did. I actually let it blow up that time intentionally. Well, they surely forgot that already. My brain is not doing the thing I need it to do today. Yay, we've got string. Okay, that's good. Let's get one more piece of string if we can help it here. Come on, little spider. Time to murder the spider. And there we go. Okay. Let's get the spider. Let's pop over this direction and go back into my... Oh no. No, 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 no. You don't do that, you little creeper. You're gonna get absolute... There we go. Okay. Okay. Fantastic. So... Alright, so let's see, what are we going to do from this point on? I forgot already, because my brain isn't doing the thing I need it to do. So... Right, come on, brain, do the thing. Right, we need iron, we need more iron. And then I actually need to make an iron sword, and then I need to make some armor. Okay. What else did I need to do? Bundles, that's what I needed, okay. So I can do this and have a little bit of extra inventory space that I otherwise would not have. So let's do that real quick. Then the other thing that needs to be done is combining these two together. Not perfect, but better than nothing, I suppose. Steal the bows off some skeletons and some arrows, and eventually I might be able to fight off a creeper or something in a pinch. Yay, more iron. Okay, so... Ew, I've got ideas for what to build now, finally. Okay, I won't explain it just yet. So once I finally have all the materials for it, and I might not have all the materials right away, I might build bits of it and just slowly build it up as I go along, but let's see. Okay, so let's do this, and then let's do this. Okay, is that the whole pocket of iron? I think that might be the whole pocket of iron. That might be the thing here. There we go. Let's okay, so let's get this done. Then let's see. Okay. Oops. Wait. Oh, I forgot that the emote menu was a thing now. Of all the things they could add to Minecraft Bedrock, they had to add emotive expressions, because of course they did. It's just the sort of game Bedrock is, apparently. It's very much a mobile game in a lot of ways, which isn't necessarily bad. I always thought Pocket Edition was good for, like, as far as what it was on a phone or a tablet. I always thought I always thought that it did really well as like a mobile game. Like you'd expect the mobile version of a game to be what Pocket Edition was, and then Microsoft is like, no, 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 we want this to be the, you know, the, the primary version of the game. We want Minecraft Bedrock to be the one everybody plays. It's like, okay, well, that's going to be interesting. Oh yeah, and by the way, we're going to replace the highly polished console editions of the game with this. And that, I don't think, turned out very well. Um, I mean, it's okay now, but I remember how much of an absolute disaster it was when it first started out. Um, I remember having a strange issue where I'd try to log in with my Xbox Live account on the Xbox One, and it actually would not let me log into my account. Like, it actually couldn't. It was unable to sign in to my Xbox Live, my Microsoft account, on Minecraft on a Microsoft console. That was so bad. It was actually so bad. And then Minecraft for the Nintendo Switch. I remember the launch. The game actually performed really well on the Nintendo Switch, like as far as the frame rate initially. And then it just got bad over time. I was always not impressed with it. Like, they could have optimized it so much more than they actually did. I'm sure they could have. But then people just start thinking, okay, well, this game can't be optimized any more than it actually is because, so on and so forth. And it's like, no, there has to have been something they could have done to make it run well without breaking compatibility. There just has to have been. But I'm guessing it just must not have been a priority for them. I can't imagine that it must have been a priority for them because it got really bad. The frame rate on the Nintendo Switch version of Minecraft for a while was just utterly horrendous. It was absolutely horrendous. Uh, it wasn't always horrendous. It was only horrendous after a certain point. And in situations, meaning the frame rate was never usually consistent between walking to one area of the world to another area of the world, and sometimes it would just slow down. Sometimes it just was not a good experience. And I really do wish that they had kept the console editions alive at the time because, I mean, at the very least, they could have made Bedrock compatible. I mean, what they could have done, what they really could have done, if they really wanted to, was they probably could have made, they could have synced the physics between the Bedrock version and the Java edition, and used the Java edition as, like, sort of the benchmark, I suppose, of what the game is supposed to look like. And then what they could have done from there is they could have gone and said, okay, let's do this on the console and the Pocket Edition, and then let's make a shared network protocol between the two versions of the game. Maybe there would be some exclusive features between, as far as just game capabilities, so that maybe they could have made Realms exclusive to console platforms, or they could have done any number of things, but no, they couldn't do that, could they? No, that was, they had to go the route of making Bedrock such a different game, at least as far as the engine goes, and the network protocol, and the different things that it does. And maybe there are real reasons that they did it that way too. I have to imagine that there has to have been real reasons that they did. Maybe the network protocol that Bedrock uses, maybe that's just better if you're going to be playing on a phone or a tablet and you have to deal with mobile phone internet. A connection to a cellular data tower of some sort. Anything along those lines. I could see being a good reason to go the way they went with it, but at the same time, it's like, okay, well, couldn't they theoretically do the same thing with Java Edition, or couldn't they take the ideas there? And because I don't know, I don't. Again, I'm not privy to any of the stuff that goes on at Mojang. Obviously, I'm not. I don't work at Microsoft. I don't work at Mojang. Uh, It's just, I always thought there were different things that they could have done that just would have made it a much better experience. And now what we've got instead is, oh yeah, all of my friends and family play the Bedrock version because none of them have an actual desktop computer or a laptop that can actually play the Java edition. Okay, so now I've got to get Bedrock on something, except I absolutely despise touchscreen controls, so I don't want to get it on my phone. Oh, there's this cool little project I could use on Linux that lets me use the Android version with a mouse and keyboard on my Linux desktop. Okay, great. You know, I could install Windows, but I hate Windows, and Windows makes my brain hurt so much. Despite all the things that Microsoft has been doing to make it worse lately, Windows was already something I could not bring myself to use unless I absolutely had to, because it just didn't work with the way my autistic brain does things. And maybe some other people are much better with Windows, even with autism, but with the way my brain works, it was like, there's too much graphical user interface stuff, and I much prefer having to use a terminal to do all the advanced complicated stuff than having to click through 5 layers of a graphical user interface. I just couldn't deal with that. So here I am on Linux thinking, okay, well, now Microsoft has the stupid Google Play DRM involved in the Minecraft Bedrock executable in the Play Store. Okay, so what are we going to do about that? How are we going to get around that? And it's like, okay, well, you can't do it legally because, I mean, in the United States, you can't break DRM. That is very much against the law, even if it's just for personal use. If you're not pirating anything or you're not distributing anything, very much against the law, punishable by up to 5 years in federal prison. So, ideally, let's not be doing that. Of course, I have done that a number of times, but you know, I'd like to find another solution if I could. And I thought, you know what? Just for fun, I bet it's not going to be great. And I've already told this story at the beginning, but you know, the rest of everything that I just said about Bedrock is sort of the preamble up to this point, and how I got there, and how I got to this point where I'm playing Windows Bedrock in VirtualBox of all things. It was literally just that. It's like, okay, well, let's try it. It's probably not going to run well. I don't expect to get any more than 2 or 3 frames per second. Probably have to run it on the lowest graphics settings, and it's going to be an absolutely horrendous time to play the game with any, you know, real sense of just being able to tell what's going on at any time without filling it in with my imagination to be able to get timings right and all that stuff. And so, no, it's actually surprisingly decent. I think this is pretty close to 60 FPS most of the time, which is far better than I would ever expect. It's actually quite impressive, if I do say so myself. As far as, you know, again, I wasn't expecting it to work. I was not expecting to be able to play Minecraft in a VirtualBox in a virtual machine and have it run well unless I did like a GPU pass-through thing. And I haven't done that, and it's working. It's actually working very well. So, yeah, honestly, this is kind of, you know, mildly impressed at all the progress that VirtualBox has made in this regard. I mean, I'm sure there's better solutions out there. I'm sure there's significantly better solutions out there. I could probably be using VMware. I could probably be, you know, I could be using KVM. I could be using GPU pass-through, and it would be as though I were actually playing it right on the actual hardware itself with maybe a little tiny bit of latency added. But no, no. You don't even need to do any of that, apparently. If you've got a powerful enough computer, you can actually just play Minecraft Bedrock right in your VirtualBox, Windows 11 virtual machine. Probably a Windows 10 virtual machine as well, if I had to hazard a guess, although I don't know if I've tested that one. I don't remember. I think the only times I've ever tested it, I've been using Windows 11 in a virtual machine. And yeah, it's, it's actually not it's not horrible. It's not perfect, but it's not horrible. It's not horrible by any stretch of the imagination. I've had to deal with a lot worse over the course of my lifetime, and this is not the worst I've ever had to deal with. And also, that was the next thing I was going to do, wasn't it? Was craft armor. So, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. And then overload. Sane and rational universe. Okay. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. And then what's the next thing I've got to do? Right, I've got to craft another pickaxe. There we go. Now I've just got some iron left over, which is great. Because I'm going to need more iron eventually. So, right, let's do that real quick. And then I think I'm going to have to end this video pretty soon. It doesn't really help that my voice has been... my speech has been getting a fair bit less clear throughout the course of the video too. That's actually, again, the reason I use the different accents throughout the course of my speech, is because otherwise it gets to be very difficult to determine what it is that I'm saying. And I start to get a bit lazy in some cases, and I start to slur some of my sounds together in ways that just don't work very well. And when I say I start to slur, I don't mean that I use slurs. That's not something I do. No, I just meant that my speech kind of blurs together a wee bit, and that's not particularly useful when you're trying to convey information to other people. So let's see what we can do here. Got gravel, got this. What else can I put in my bundle? What other stuff do I not need? Front and center in my inventory at the moment. Flint. I don't need that by front and center, do I? No. I can actually put the iron in there too, I think. It'd be nice to have a place I can throw my old tools away. Here, let's do this. I'm probably going to want these with me. Blimey, have I really been recording? Apparently I've been recording for almost 38 minutes? 38 minutes? Yeah, that seems about right. Yeah, 38 minutes. Fascinating. Okay, so... Right, okay, so what am I looking for now? I suppose I might as well go and look for diamonds real quick. I know usually other people like to have a home base by this point. Yeah, maybe I should. I should actually probably build something, because if I don't, then I'm probably just gonna have all my stuff in my inventory, and then I'm gonna die, and then I'm gonna have to try to rescue it, and then it's all probably going to despawn before I get the chance to rescue it. So, let's not do that. I know exactly what sort of house I want to build, and I don't have the materials for it. So, I'm going to have to go up and get the materials that I want, and I think if I mine sideways, I will eventually run into... That was very loud, and that surprised me quite a fair bit. Okay. Let's not have a heart attack from a thunderstorm, thank you very much. Okay. So, basically... what I'm really hoping I run into, and the material I want to build the primary... the primary material I want to build my house out of, because, again, I started doing this on servers, and I don't know why I do it, I just do it because why not? I want dirt. I'm going to build my house out of dirt, because why not? Then I'm going to make it super fancy, because that's totally what people are supposed to do when they play Minecraft, is build a dirt house and make it as fancy as they possibly can. And it ticks everybody else off because it's a dirt house and it's not supposed to be fancy, but it's still fancy. And it, yeah, anyways. I've got ways to make them look really nice, despite being actual dirt houses. I've been doing it for a while. I've been building dirt houses, and making them actually look quite fashionable, if I do say so myself. It's not actually as hard as some people might imagine it to be. You can actually make a dirt house look pretty nice, and it can be totally functional. And of course, the whole thing doesn't have to be made out of dirt. That is the primary point. It won't look very good if you just build the house out of dirt and make it a box. You have to build stuff around it too. So you've got trees, you've got cobblestone, you've got stone bricks, you've got wood planks. You can actually make a dirt house look pretty nice if you do it that way. So, that's what I plan to do, but I need to actually find some dirt, and yes, I could just use the dirt on the surface, but I don't want to destroy the surface level. I like the look of the terrain. I want to have the terrain actually looking nice if I possibly can, so I'm going to avoid using the dirt on the surface to build stuff if I can help it. Maybe if I need to do some landscaping, then I can use the dirt from the surface, but otherwise, I don't think there's really much of a point. So, what I'm going to do, again, is start to I might have to do some strip mining a bit. I know that that's sort of pointless in the modern age, especially if you're looking for diamonds, but I'm not looking for diamonds, I'm looking for dirt, so strip mining it is. I might have to cut a lot of this out of the video too. I don't really know how interesting a video is these days, where you just sort of sit there and do pointless stuff and talk about random nonsense. I know IBX Toycat has done that a lot, and I actually really liked his videos where he did that, and his live streams where he did that. I always found that those were rather enjoyable to watch. Just put them on in the background and just clean your room up or something, and it usually works out pretty well. I don't know if that's the way I want to do every video. I mean, again, I'm not really making videos because I want to get views or I want to get a following on YouTube. I'm doing it just because it's kind of fun, I guess. I mean, you know, I know that's not what YouTube is really about these days. There's a lot of corporate stuff that happens, and you don't really get noticed by anyone if you just keep uploading random stuff and you don't do it consistently and all that fun algorithmic manipulation. No, just a moment. Alright, well, real life calls, I suppose. I'm going to have to end the video here. I don't know if it was really the most entertaining video ever, but I do want to at least make a series like this about beating the game in survival in a VirtualBox virtual machine, because that's just absolutely ridiculous. I don't know, I thought that was ridiculous the first time I saw it work, so I don't know, maybe someone will find it entertaining. I don't know if anyone actually will, but that's alright. That's what I do on this channel. I upload random technical tests and demos and random stuff, so alright, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Goodbye.